a South Carolina cop has been arrested after stomping on a man's neck. Former Orangeburg, South Carolina police officer, his name is David Lance Dukes, was arrested and charged with first-degree assault. Put up his picture. That's him. Dukes had allegedly stomped on the neck-head region of a damn near 60-year-old man, Clarence Gilliard, while responding to a 911 call last Monday. He is facing up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Here's the man that he decided to assault. That's him. That's Mr. Gilliard, 58 years of age. And he was stomped, kicked to the head and neck region by that police officer who has now been fired. According to Mr. Gilliard's attorney, Justin Bamberg, Gilliard suffered an acute head injury following that encounter. Here are the details of the incident. On July 26th, Dukes was on patrol as an Orangeburg Department of Public Safety officer and responded to a call for service at an apartment complex. SLED agent said in an arrest warrant. Dukes pulled out his gun and ordered Gilliard to the ground. While Gilliard was on his hands and knees in a defenseless position, Dukes raised his leg and forcibly stomped with his boot on the victim's neck and or head area, according to the warrant. Gilliard's head hit the concrete. Paramedics took Gilliard to a hospital with a contusion on his head. The warrant said Dukes stomping on the man was likely to produce death or great bodily injury. What's going on with these guys, right? What's going on with them? You see, I hear when people say, just comply with the officer. Well, time and time again, you see that compliance does not equate to a decent outcome with the police. According to the narrative here, this older gentleman, one of our elders among us, he complied. He complied and still received an injury from a police officer that could have killed him or severely injured him. Now, any executive in law enforcement or any member of law enforcement would tell you that there are red zones in the body, on the body. And these red zones are places where if you strike an individual at this particular location on their body, you're doing it and it could kill them and you know it. The head and the neck, they are considered one of those red zones. This officer has been arrested. Put up his picture again. David Lance Dukes is his full name. Here's what happened to his victim. Mr. Gilliard suffers from mobility issues after being struck by a car a couple of years ago. Officer Dukes ordered my client and another individual to get on the ground, but because of my client's disability, he's relatively slow. He was trying to get down as fast as he could. South Carolina Law Enforcement Division investigated Dukes at the request of Orangeburg Public Safety Department. The department terminated this 38-year-old David Lance Dukes on Wednesday for the alleged repeated use of excessive force in dealing with the public and or prisoners. That's according to documents provided by the SC Criminal Justice Academy under the Freedom of Information Act. You mean to tell me that this police officer had multiple counts or multiple complaints before this one? That's what it means. Because of a Freedom of Information Act, we now know it. He was let go of the job, let go of being a cop. Why? Not only because of this incident, but because of other incidents before where you failed to act. I'm talking about the governing agency. The governing agency failed to act. And this is what happens when you fail to act and there's an out of control rogue cop among your ranks. This is what happens. Mr. Gilliard could be dead. He could be gone today. And it wouldn't just be the fault of the cop, but also the system. And this is why we call out systemic issues, because it takes a system for this cop to continue to serve on the job, to continue assaulting other citizens. Dukes has bounced around quite a bit. He worked as a Calhoun County Sheriff deputy until July 24th, 2018, before he resigned to take a job as an officer at Orangeburg Department of Public Safety. He worked there until May 22nd, 2019. He resigned from ODPS and began working at the CCSO on May 29, 2019, until they terminated him 16 months later. He returned to ODPS on October 12th. Yeah, he's making the run. And this is the culture of policing that's jacked up. Let me take you back to a federal policy that would help resolve some of this. The George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act literally would mandate a uniform system to report officers like this. It would be a transparent process. Everybody would have been aware of his background. Everybody would have been aware of his tendencies to violate the rights of citizens and to utilize excessive force repeatedly. Everybody would have been aware of that, including you and I. Including you and I. And we could have put political public pressure on local authorities when they decide to employ individuals like this, who not only cost us with how we deal with our humanity, but they cost us real money. Having a good cop saves you from the bad lawsuit. Having a good cop saves you from the bad interaction with a citizen. But if you continue to foster an environment, an atmosphere that protects clowns like this, then you get what you deserve as a municipality, as a police department, because now, due to your inaction for so many years, and you're allowing this guy to move from department to department with multiple instances of violating others, you are just as freaking responsible. You're the system that allows scum like this to permeate and to kick an elderly man in the damn head and damn near kill him. You do that. The system does that.